right, okay, welcome back. We just went through some sports, but we're going to keep it balling, okay? All right, so AM show, we have got a powerhouse in the house this morning. She is bold, she's brilliant, she is blazing her own trail. Today's guest is the definition of multi-talented meets unstoppable. From lighting up stages and screens to making moves in media and beyond, Megan brings fire and purpose and authenticity everywhere she goes, whether it's in front of the camera, in the theater, or any space she touches for that matter. She's making huge waves in the industry, and we are beyond excited to have her here with us today. So join us in extending the warmest welcome to the amazing Megan Elyse Fulmer.
Thank you. Intro, oh my gosh. Wow, thank you.
It's all true.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. So Megan, we're so excited to have you. We were talking a bit before, Nadine and I, and we just want to dive in. You do so many things. Again, I always bring it up when we have guests on the show who they're multi-hyphenate. I call them a Swiss Army knife. So we just want to get into your creative aspect, your creative prowess. How did you start? Bring us into the childhood of Megan. Were you always just a creative kid? Did you always, enjoy dancing and singing? How did that go?
Little me was obsessed with Disney, Selena, TLC, all of those groups. And so I was always dancing around the house, but I was very attached to my mom, my abuelita, and my grandmother. We called her Lela. My mom wanted me to become a little bit more detached and embrace that I had this bubbly spirit. So she put me in dance classes very young. She started me when I was 2. It didn't go as well because I was still attached. But then we tried again at 3. And I think about halfway through that first year, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, but my mom was like, we already bought the recital costume, you're doing the recital. And then I came off stage, I was like, I want to do that again. But she also put me in a Christmas pageant once when I was a kid, and there's a video of it. I'm walking down the runway with my dad, or with my mom, and I see my dad in the audience, I'm waving, and she's trying to get me off the stage. I didn't want to go, so there was always that itch to be on stage. I fell in love with dance from there. I played violin as a kid. I became obsessed with musicals and singing, and I think by the time I was 13, I was like, musical theater seems correct.
Yeah. That's
It
amazing.
just kind of all made sense. It all flowed
did.
together. Yeah.
I had so many interests. I mean, there was a period of time I saw the movie center stage. I thought I wanted to be a ballerina. Then I realized I was never going to be this big. I loved my rice and beans too much. But I also loved other styles of dance. I danced for 76ers junior dance team when I was a kid. So I realized that if I wanted to find a place where I could do all the things that I loved in one, it was musical theater.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I decided to audition for a few programs by the time I was in high school. And I wound up getting accepted into Montclair State University, got my BFA from there.
Wow.
They let me take my junior year off to tour with Shrek the musical, which was my first tour. And I was the only female swing, which meant I understudied the entire ensemble.
Wow.
So junior year, I did Shrek University.
Yeah.
And then they let me work summer, fall, winter, spring to be able to graduate on time. So I did my degree in 3 years at Montclair.
Wow.
And then got to work.
Wow. I mean, that's an impressive kind of realization from being such a young kid to then mixing all your loves together and then making it come true and getting a degree in it. I mean, not a lot of people can say that they were able to do that. It's quite something.
I credit my parents.
Okay.
My parents have always been so supportive. I think there was only one moment when we were visiting colleges that they were like, maybe you want to minor in something just in case. And Clay James, who was the head of the musical theater department at Montclair at the time, said, if you're planning on having a plan B, don't. This isn't for you because you're basically triple majoring. And he was right. I'm glad that I invested fully in my major because I wouldn't be fully invested in my own career now.
I love that, especially having parents who are so supportive. I mean, it just really puts this battery in your back that makes you, just feel like you can accomplish anything and not only do things, but just do them well. You got the support system of your family, so that's incredible. And again, do your parents, they still support now? They come to as much as they can now?
Yeah, they came to the opening night of Take the Lead, which is what I'm working on now. So I had them there with me, and this role is very special. It's very much just who I am and who I was as a teenager. So to be able to have them see me in this light, embracing everything that I am, I just feel like this is what we've worked for. And my mom has never been a stage mom in that degree, and my dad has always been present. He becomes more and more invested in the industry itself. Like he's sending me actor memes all the time. Just different interviews with famous actors just to inspire me more. And my mom is always just like, keep going, keep going. So I'm so thankful.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
amazing.
it's great to have them, see them in the audience while you're performing, but let's talk about Take the Lead, because this is huge. So you actually are playing Lola in
Yes.
Take the Lead. So tell us a little bit about Lola and what is the entire play about?
So if you know the movie Take the Lead, it's actually the role that Jenna Dewan played in the film, and the name was Sasha at the time. Lola is this fiery Nuyorican. She's very confident. She is the hot girl in school, but still has her youth and her vulnerability about her. And this is all based off of a true story of Pierre Dulaine, who brought dancing to inner city schools and has created different programs around the world to bring ballroom into children's lives that just really need this inspiration, that needs something further to strive for. And to be playing this role, a student in the Bronx, when my abuela came over from Puerto Rico, she was originally in the Bronx and then she went to North Jersey. But, you know, I feel so much of my mom even. Like I know my mom went to Passaic High. My mom is this fiery Latina who, you know, just wanted to do so much, and to be able to bring that to Lola, to have this man come in and say, you guys are beyond your current situation. I think we all have that teacher that came to us and said, you can do whatever it is that I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
I see this little fire in you. I see whatever this is. And I want you to know it's possible.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Wonderful.
Now, I always have a question when there is when we have a chance to interviewing as you're embodying a character. But I want to know, so much of acting is about empathy and bridging the gap between bringing yourself into a character and having this exchange. How much of you is in the character and vice versa?
Oh man, I would say it's honestly about 90% me. I'm not gonna lie.
How fun.
There's this 10%, and it's funny because I was on stage and I had this moment where I was like, I don't like her right now. Because she has this moment in the show where she's quick to bite at Pierre. All the kids kind of get defensive because all of a sudden we've been creating this protective environment with Pierre. We're rehearsing in a basement. We're learning in a basement. And the superintendent comes in and breaks our trust bubble. And we're expected to just perform for him to show him that this program is worth funding. And I'm the first one to be like, oh, this isn't arts appreciation. This is Pierre Dulaine appreciation. And I'm definitely one to speak up when I feel like something is wrong, but I, as myself, would never jump to attack someone in that way. And then the second I have that moment, 3 other students chime in, and then Pierre says, I thought we were beyond this. Are we not? And that's not the exact line, but
Yeah.
he basically calls us out. And then I have this moment. I feel like when you first see Lola be very vulnerable. But as me, myself, I had a moment of judging the character for the first time. I'm like, why'd you do that? So disrespectful and rude. My mom would, if I was ever that disrespectful to an adult at that age, I could just hear my mom like, you better watch yourself.
The eyes popping out. Oh, we're going to talk about this at home.
I know you will not.
I know that. I know what that's like.
Exactly.
But you get to dive into a character who's struggling, maybe with things that maybe you didn't struggle with because you had a different style of upbringing.
Exactly.
And it just is able to pull different aspects of your skill set out of you.
Definitely.
You find, your toolbox.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It makes you really have to empathize in that moment. And again, with those circumstances, find a situation where maybe I was in a similar position that would cause me to want to react in that way, even if I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So it's a nice challenge.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, and it's so fun. It's been airing. It's going until the end of April. And guys, we actually have the trailer. So why don't we take a sneak peek at that?
Oh my gosh.
School and all you can think about is finding your way back into the limelight.
I need to find the kind of person who actually wants to teach my kids.
When we dance, we express who we are inside.
No one helps because no one listens to me.
You get trophies for dancing? They want to compete.
We tried, but it didn't work.
Take the steps and make them your own. Again!
Come on.
Wow. Okay. Can we talk about those outfits?
Yes.
Girl, talk
I
to
still
us.
just get teary. I mean, this is such a dream come true.
Yeah.
To be working on the world premiere of a musical and for it to be so true and so honest and so nostalgic, all of the things. I mean, every night I have a moment where I get teary-eyed. To watch this on that trailer on a big screen right now is just beautiful. And to wear the Rockaware and the apple bottoms and the baby fat and all of the things. I mean, young me. The creative team, they really listened to us and said, these characters are what you want to make it. I mean, between our director, Chris Catelli, our choreographers, Jennifer Weber and Maria Torres, they really said, we want you to build these characters and really create them from the ground up. And that's the actor's dream, to originate a role.
Yeah.
And then as far as wardrobe goes, I mean, everything that we wanted, they just said yes.
Yeah.
It's a dream come true.
That's incredible to be able to, as an actor or actress, to be able to step into a role where the vision that you have in your head as you're building out this character, because you're building out also the history of that character. You know, there's so much of the subtext that you're building out that you want to bring to the forefront of the character. So everything, all of that matters. The wardrobe, the nuances, and for having the production side to really be able to take your voice and to really see you guys. I mean, that's so special. I mean, do you have just great relationships with everyone on the production staff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, between the creative team, I mean, the composers, the writers, the producers, and we have the producer from the film, and we have Ava Price, who is a Broadway producer with us. I mean, they have all been so encouraging, and they've created such a respectful, safe space. And that allows us to be free within each other. And you can see, I mean, we need that camaraderie on stage. So across the board, I genuinely, as just the human beings they are, I genuinely love this entire team and the entire cast.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love seeing the emotion you're feeling just talking about this, because it really it's like that pinch me type moment. It's what it looks like that you're experiencing.
Little me is just elated. And even I understudy Adrienne Bailon, and I know people love her from Cheetah Girls, but I went to FYE. I bought 3LW's first CD when it came out. I was such a 3LW fan. And my two girlfriends and I, we would play 3LW, and I was always playing Adrienne. So when I found out that I would understudy her this time around, because I did the workshop for this show back in August, it was just such a dream come true. And she has always been nothing but so kind and welcoming and genuine. And anytime there are changes, because things were changing constantly, she'd be like, girl, did you get the new script? Did you see this new scene? So I'm going to be saying X, Y, and Z. And to get that from someone of her status and someone that I respect so highly, for her to treat me the way she's treated me is just, the way she's treated me is just such a blessing. So yes, little me through and through is just
Yeah.
Well,
Cloud nine.
I love it. And
That
it's
is
so
amazing,
beautiful
yeah.
to hear too, because they say don't meet your idols.
Yeah.
They say that because you never know, but it's so beautiful to hear that. No, meet her because she's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not that I've been very fortunate. I mean, Rochelle Rack was someone that I idolized in the Broadway community. I had the opportunity to do a workshop with her my senior year of college. And she saw something in me and taught me the number from Fosse the musical that I was obsessed with. I watched all the time. Fosse the musical was the first show I ever saw. I saw the tour of it, and Rochelle Rack taught me the number I Gotcha, and I did it at my senior showcase. And to learn it from her, who learned it from Anne Ranking, in just the legacy that you see. And then Mariska Hargitay, when I made my supporting guest debut, I guess, on television, she was my director. And someone of her status who has paved the way as someone in television, I mean, she would pull me aside and be like, okay, I want you to get into the mirror and I want you to see just this little shift that you do with your eyes is gonna make all the difference. And for her to take the time to do that, I mean, not all directors would do something like that. And she was so kind and warm and personal. And I've been very fortunate to meet idols and still be like, oh my God, I love you. I mean, Deborah Cox, Julianne Hough, like I got to work with all of them, and they've been so kind. So kind.
That is amazing. Honestly, Megan, you are taking us into our fields. I mean, you mentioned 3LW. I remember when their first single came out, No More.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right. That was my, listen, me and my boys, we would be in the basketball locker room, we'd be like, yo, hold on, okay, listen. We're gonna put camera on the side right now. We gotta play this track right now. This is it. And we would play that 3LW. But between that, Rockaware, and you know the styles and the nostalgia, we have so much more to get into. This has been so good. We're gonna go to a commercial, and when we come back, we have so much more we're gonna dive into. And so AM Show, listen, stick right there. Megan is she's bringing us back, okay? She's bringing us back. So we'll be right back with more to ask her, right?
Thank you.
Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome back into the AM Show. There she is, Megan Elyse Fulmer is still with us. We're having incredible conversations about everything that you are doing. You are taking the stage by storm, taking New York City by storm. So thanks for sticking with us. And I want to talk a little bit more about the behind the scenes of putting on a production like you're in right now. What does it take? 'Cause I don't think people fully maybe grasp the behind the scenes work, from the singing to the staging to the memorizing your lines to knowing the choreo. Like there's so much that goes into it. So can you give us just a little bit of that insight knowledge into how long it took you guys to prepare for this?
Ooh, well, we were rehearsing for about a month at New 42. And doing a new works is particularly challenging because things are constantly changing. We could come in one morning, and spend an hour learning new music, and then half that music could get cut the next day.
Wow.
Or, I mean, you've been rehearsing a number for 3 weeks already, and they decide they're gonna change 3 words in one line, and you're trying to remember what version. So when you're doing a new works, it's more of like, okay, are we doing version 2.7 today, or are we going on to version 5, or is it version 2. You never know. So I think that's the biggest challenge, and I think with marrying all of the worlds together with ballroom, hip hop, all of those things, there comes a new challenge, but also creates a bigger camaraderie because you have to really protect each other. We have people who are world champion ballroom dancers that don't know anything about theater, so they don't know what downstage and upstage is. They don't know what numbers to hit. Or they're used to just dancing so freely and forget that like you can only go so far because you can't get past number 10 on our number line at the edge of the stage because you're not going to be in your light anymore. So there's so many elements that go into a new works, and specifically with a lot of new people. We have so many different age groups, so many different styles. So I mean, there comes a lot of challenges, but within that, a lot of growth. Everyone is becoming so much more well-rounded, whether it's the ballroom people finally getting the opportunity to dance and sing at the same time, hip-hop dancers who are learning foxtrot for the first time and learning waltz for the first time, dancers who haven't had as many opportunities or as much exposure to acting and creating a character on stage. So maybe they were timid to make certain choices at first, but now they're finally finding their groove, they're finding who their character is, and you're seeing them come to life in a brand new way. And then, the writers have been working on this for a decade, and so finding the balance of not being so precious with it and knowing what the audience is going to need to really connect all the dots. And I will say, you're following 10 high school students' journey on top of Pierre Dulaine, on top of Ariana Rey, who is the interim principal trying to achieve her dreams. There's so many moving pieces, and they've done such a brilliant job of tying all the storylines together. And that's not even including the composers and including the fact that we have 3 choreographers. I mean, there's a lot that goes and a lot of versions in our head, but we finally landed on one, and that's the one that you're going to get.
Well, I think it's going to be a great version. And we actually have a great video for you guys to check out. It's a little behind the scenes of you guys actually as a cast performing. So let's check it out. The energy
is that is it right there. I mean, it's just it's oozing also that era of energy at the time. I'm just really feeling that. I feel like different decades have a different type of vibe, a different type of energy, and this is definitely that. I'm getting that. It feels very much like I want to go back into a time machine.
I love it. I mean, it's that early 2000s dance movie nostalgia type of vibe. But that's actually when you first really get to see Drake High come through. It's our Valentine's dance. And so the opening number, the opening of the show, we first have the prologue where you see all of us getting ready in our spotlights. And then you go into the ballroom competition in the Upper East Side. And then it turns into Drake High having their Valentine's dance. We all come through. And then all the worlds start to blend together. And you see all these teenagers in these different worlds just embracing what brings them joy. So it's a fire opening number.
That's what I'm saying. That's like the energy was definitely there. And, along those lines, I did have a question. I wanted to know, so with all the different dance styles, I wanted to know, number one, how many different dance styles are incorporated in the performance, and what is your personal favorite?
So we have like that early 2000s hip hop vibe that's in there. And then we also have samba, foxtrot, quick step, mambo, tango. Oh geez, am I missing any? Viennese waltz. Yes. So and then we have some traditional musical theater jazz too. There's a beautiful Fred and Ginger style number that 2 of the high schoolers do, Rock and Lorette. And I have to say, it's really powerful to see 2 Black students doing this Fred and Ginger type of number, something that you don't get to see these high schoolers wearing the Rockaware, wearing all of this attire, just being that classic musical theater, that duo that is just,
I love it.
Oh my gosh, it's so magical in its own right. But what I loved learning tango. I had, as dance captain, I have to learn all the styles and get familiar enough with all the styles.
Yeah.
Luckily, my assistant dance captain, he's one of the ballroom guys, and he is incredible. But I have to do a samba trio at the end of the number. In the movie, Jenna Dewan does a tango with 2 other guys in the competition, and they decided to make ours a samba. I really loved learning tango, but I understand with stage, it's really powerful how the samba translates, and I've learned to love Samba's hard. Samba's really hard. I know Latin dance. I've done salsa, merengue, bachata, all of that, but samba, it's a challenge, and it's really pushed me to be a more well-rounded dancer, a better dancer.
Now, samba is very much, is samba fast-paced, or is samba the more kind of like graceful kind of movements like that?
Actually, I'm forgetting a style we do, rumba. Rumba has like a nice like silkiness to it.
That's what I'm thinking.
So you see us learn it a little bit, and you get a flash of the ballroom dancers actually doing it the way it's supposed to be done, and you're just like, whoo! But samba's fast-paced, and our samba is very fast-paced, and the band keeps us on our toes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
so excited. And you have to be fit to be able to keep up with all those dance moves, all those different styles of dance. And I know that you have an extensive fitness journey. You've even actually taught fitness as well, right?
Yes.
So how has that obviously just helped you become a better performer, and why did you decide to teach it to others?
So actually, to be fully transparent, when I first moved to New York, I couldn't afford a gym membership. I couldn't do certain things. I was that starving artist coming here, just trying to make ends meet. And so I got a job at a gym, just working front desk. And I decided when I came to the city, I didn't want to wait tables or bartend because I didn't want to become drained by the hours. A lot of the auditions for dancers are really early in the morning. If you're lucky, sometimes you get a 2 p.m. audition, but at the time, a lot of us had to come in at 10 a.m. and maybe not get seen, and you have to sign up your name on a list at 6 a.m. and you're waiting around. And so I decided that I wanted to find jobs that kept me active in what I want to be doing, and teaching Zumba was one of those things. I danced for bar mitzvahs, I sang at weddings, I did a lot of things that were all within my world. So that's how I started on that fitness journey, and I've always loved it. My dad is super into fitness, and so it was one of those things that he worked long hours, and he would have taught me like a tricep exercise, and the next day he comes home from work. I'm like, Dad, look at my triceps. Or I'll be like, look at my hands. Look at how many crunches I did. So now, especially in the show, I mean, you see that opening number. We're rapping, we're singing, we're dancing. We have to be super high energy. So stamina alone, and you know, if I were to go on for Adrian, the vocal stamina that I need, it's so important. Everything goes hand in hand. And then also just strength training to prevent injuries. I've had a lot of injuries over the years, and I've even been injured on this contract, but I'm able to keep going and tape up and wrap up and do what I need to do because I take great care of myself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, and you're able to push through some of the injuries. What are you facing right now?
Right now, I have a strain in my bicep shoulder, and I had an ankle injury. There's a slide that we do in the Samba trio where they slide me forward, and initially we were doing it so that I was coming towards the audience, and we have tracks in the stage for automation, and my heel caught a track and jammed my ankle up. And so now the slide goes this way. But I have physical therapy after this. And you know, the team is so protective of us. So they're like, whatever you need to do, whatever you need to accomplish, you need to wrap it up. We need to change the shoes. We're going to do it for you. And it's not the first ankle. I mean, this ankle I had surgery on. I have herniated discs in my neck, tendonitis in the shoulders, bicep, you know, the works from just wear and tear over the years.
Yeah.
But passion outweighs the pain.
Come on.
And so I'm going to do whatever I need to do to take care of myself to keep going because I'm loving it. And as long as I know I'm not further injuring my body, I am going to keep going, okay?
There you go.
Wow,
There you
preach
go.
it,
There you
girl.
go. There
That
you
is
go.
motivational.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the resilience is everything.
Wow.
Honestly, it was wild. I remember watching, there was a commercial, and a retired NBA player, Allen Iverson, he was sitting on this table, this operating table, and they just started to highlight different parts of his body that had incurred injuries. And so as you were saying, the things that you're just managing and pushing forward, I instantly thought of that commercial. Like if we were to sit here and there was to be a highlight on all the areas that, that you have injury and the ways that you're pushing through, that's just incredible. And exactly what you're saying, the passion.
What's funny is when I was on his 76ers junior dance team, he was still on the team.
Oh, wow.
He was actually
Yeah.
really sweet. Yeah, every once in a while he'd come and wave to us, and his mom would come in and she'd be in this big fur coat and stuff.
Yeah.
He was always very kind, but from a young age, I see all these athletes, if we had rehearsal on the court beforehand, then all of a sudden these giants are coming through. I mean, I was 10, 11 at the time, and you see the way they train, and dancers aren't always treated as such, such athletes, but we are athletes.
For sure,
So,
for sure. Yeah, you guys
we have physical therapy on site, which is such a blessing for all of us. And, I'm getting extra PT due to certain things, but you just have to do it.
No, it is such an athlete, and I feel like even as a dancer, your core is always activated. And I feel like as a dancer, you guys go through these there are moments in athletics where, there are moments, I get fouled, I go to the free throw line, I get a second, or I could take a couple foul shots. When you are dancing, you are on. You are always moving, constantly moving. Your core is always activated. So, that makes it really tough.
Definitely. Yeah. And like you said, we always have to be honest, specifically with this show. It's about 2.5 hours, and the Drake High kids, the ones that you follow their journey, I would say there's only maybe about 20, 25 minutes that I'm not on stage.
Wow.
So even if it is sitting in the classroom or doing whatever else, I mean, we're supposed to be these kids with bad postures in this way, but I also have to think about okay, if I'm gonna sit this way, what else do I have to engage in my body?
Sure.
So that I don't start feeling certain things just from sitting improperly. You don't think about that all the time. Or if you're executing a move and there's a lot of repetition that could have a little bit of wear and tear, you have to think about, okay, am I doing this in my spare time as well on the other side so that I'm balancing myself out? What muscles do I need to engage so that I'm not going to further injure a different area of my body? I mean, my hips and my glutes have been on fire because I'm engaging them so much to take less pressure off of the ankle. And once you go through physical therapy and things like that, you start to figure out all of those moving parts, but core is everything. That's
well, it's smart to have all that knowledge and have those tools. So because your body, that's your job. Your job is your body, and maintaining it is huge.
And that's the light that comes out of injuries. There's been a lot of darkness that has come with getting injured and with this being your livelihood, but the benefit now is I know so much about my body.
Yeah, you've learned all about it and how to keep it safe and stuff. Wow, quite incredible things what you're doing. I mean, this play looks to be so amazing. Guys, you will be able to go get your tickets online so you can see it live. Now, before I let you go, I do have a couple of fun questions for you. Okay? I heard, tell me if I'm right or tell me if I'm wrong, I heard you have some unique skills. So you can puppeteer?
Yes.
Right? And you have an impression of Fran Drescher that you do from The Nanny. Is that?
Mrs. Sheffield.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic.
Honestly, though, my favorite that all of the cast knows that I do is Sofia Vergara's. When she's like, oh my God, Jay, I'm so happy to be here on the morning show with you. This is so exciting, and I get to play Lola. She's so young and fruitful, and I just disfruta la vida.
Nah, that's
Girl.
that is GOAT status. That is amazing. That's incredible.
That's amazing. Have you ever been able to incorporate any of these unique talents in what you do in theater at all? Or
You know what's funny? I did a play when it was in November, I did the U.S. premiere of this play called Deceived, which is based off of Gaslight, the movie that Angela Lansbury starred in. It got her start.
Yeah.
So it's a new adaptation of it, and our director was my director for a different production. And she said, the reason I called you in for this show is because I saw you doing impressions on the side of rehearsal time.
What?
And I was like, oh, she's not just a dancer. Like, she can act too. Like, she's got something there. So I got to do a Cockney accent on stage and really just get really dodgy with it and like get really nasty. And so I mean, yes, I'm a dancer and I started as a dancer, but what I love about Take the Lead is I get to use my comedy.
Yeah.
I get to really embrace who I am as an actress, and the movement is a plus.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
amazing.
How is it she saw you doing these fun accents? It's like, her, I want her. She can do this fun stuff. That is so incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I was doing like Jen Coolidge impressions or something. I don't know. Or like even during tech when we were bored in chorus line, I was like doing Val's monologue as Jen Coolidge. Like, oh my God, Zach. Give me a chance.
You are amazing. You were way more than just a dancer. You are, yes, that Swiss Army knife.
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, add those impressions to that list. Bravo to you.
Oh my
Bravo
gosh,
to you.
amazing, incredible. Honestly, this was incredible. Just being able to chat with you, getting able to dive deeper into from the beginning all the way through production and even understanding what you're pushing through, just body-wise, and so it was incredible.
Yeah.
We just got to ask that you come back at some point.
I'd love to.
Yes.
This was incredible. This was incredible. Honestly, one more time, give it up for Megan. She was just unbelievable. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be following you and all the things, and you know, we wish you the best. You're already crushing it in every aspect of it. So thank you so much for coming along.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me be here. I really appreciate it. It's such a beautiful opportunity.
There you go. Amazing. Take the Lead, guys. Airing right now. Go and get your tickets online so you can see the incredible Megan playing Lola. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We have a little bit left of the show and we return, so don't go anywhere.